Oh, this is Win Yi. Thank you for attending once again. And how are you guys doing? All right. So today I'm going to say this. Uh, New York and California is the land of the flea, Flee, flea. Whereas Texas and Florida is the land of the free, Free. In fact, let me add another parenthesis. Texas and Florida is the land of the financially free. Only if you choose to live in Florida or Texas, if you want to buy a owner-occupied home or primary home, or if you are smarter, regardless of where you live in the US or in the world, you should become a real estate investor and buy investment properties to rent out income property, preferably single family homes in certain areas of Texas and Florida. Mainly, let me give you something something spicy. Mainly, I prefer Central Texas, outside Austin, the suburbs of Austin, uh, within 80 miles north of Austin, the suburbs, and 80 miles south of Austin into San Antonio. Those are the hot markets for many, many people. And in Florida, go to affordable places to live, enjoy high quality of life. And if you're a real estate investor, if you want to buy a cash flow rental property in Florida, I prefer, just my personal opinion, Central Florida or Southwest Florida, because both are the Texas and Florida select locations I have experience. And of course, for the past 20 years, I have taken our turnkey mom and pop real estate investors to buy cash flow properties at these locations. So suffice to say, I know a little bit about those markets. So with that said, the very old terminology. I don't know when it was coined, maybe 100 years ago, at the turn of the century, when all the migration, at the turn of the century, at the migration people, the term "go west, young man," all right, is a very historical term right now. Politically, it does not even go well for a lot of people. Now, moving forward, go south and southeast, young man and woman. Okay, all right. I just want to be very careful how I say things in these days of very political correctness. So, without further ado, let me share my screen. And I have two slides to show you. And this is an article just came out today, Wednesday, January 25th, from Yahoo article. And the headline, I'm not going to play the video. I know the video is only like a few minutes long, 6 minutes long, too long. Just listen to me, okay? Let me highlight the article. Texas and Florida see biggest population gains as over 600,000 people flee New York and California. So anyway, so let's go over the details. Let's take a deep dive into this article, which pretty much validates what I've been telling people for many, many years. And if you're hearing this for the first time, for your future, be prepared, either physically move to some of these Texas and Florida locations, or buy investment or income properties because these areas are still very affordable, and your rent that you're going to charge a tenant will be glad to pay for your property to live there. Anyway, all right. So, like I said, 450,000 people have moved. Texas is the largest population recipient of migration, and Florida, according to Bank of America Global Research. and also the U.S. Census Bureau and U-Haul rates as well. So you can do your own collaborative research to look into U-Haul migration patterns and the U.S. Census Bureau. And what I'm saying is really, is not, top secret. People have been knowing this type of trends for a long time. But if you're a beginner, if you're a new investor, whatever, great. If you're hearing this for the first time, now you are more motivated to do to take action. That is. Another word I want to use is sun belt migration. When I say sun belt migration, mainly to south and southeast. Now, some of you are thinking, wow, what about sun belt in affordable places like, the boomtown pandemic skyrocketing growth like Boise, Idaho, Austin, Texas, or Las Vegas, Nevada, or wherever, right? I get it. But the Sun Belt West are at least does not bode well for mom and pop real estate turnkey income property purchasers because the prices and the rent you collect from those prices in the Western region, the numbers does not work. That means you will not be able to cash out at 25% down payment. Okay, I'll give you more details later on that. This video is not going to be that long. Anyway, so here it is. The South obviously has benefited from domestic migration that saw almost 1 million people leave the other areas into the South and Southeast. So Sunbelt migration, remember this word, I told you that. South sees massive migration spike. Okay, let's take a look at it. You see this, the green color indicates 2022, and the blue indicates 2021. So let's see which region of the US have the largest net population gain and which area have a net population loss. Once again, I'm going to validate this, the South and Southeast, mainly Texas, Florida, and some areas of North and South Carolina, Georgia, Alabama, and neighboring states are also the recipient, also part of the South and Southeast region as we speak. But mainly, clearly, Florida and Texas is the top two. Sunbelt migration, okay? So therefore, as you can see by the graph, the South has the more than 1 million population gain over the past few years. I don't know exactly how many. And of course, the other areas, Northeast in 2020 and 2021 has a net loss by migration, similar with Midwest and similar with the West. The West, yeah, have a little bit of a population gain, especially those boom towns, Vegas, Phoenix, Boise, and so forth. But clearly, head and shoulder above everywhere. 2021, the blue color, and 2022, the green color. South is head and above, shoulder over everywhere else. By the state, as I mentioned, Texas and Florida is running 1-2 over for the future, that is, okay? You have to think long-term future. And North Carolina is number 3, Georgia number 4, Arizona, yeah, I could say Arizona, okay. South Carolina, Tennessee, a lot of people are not aware about Tennessee, were the biggest gainers in terms of net population growth. So you go where the population and job growth. Show me the money. That's where we make the most money, okay? Warren Buffett said, when people are fearful, you become greedy. When people are greedy, you become fearful. Be greedy in a good way, all right? In a positive way. So yeah, Florida, Texas, North Carolina have the largest increases in net migration, 319,000, 231,000, 100,000. Residents from other states are moving into these locations. And let me see what else. Texas, Florida, notch highest net migration. Yes, here it is. Okay, Texas, Florida, North Carolina, Georgia, Arizona, South Carolina, Tennessee, Washington State, Utah, Idaho. Anything else? And then, of course, a lot of the new builders, the Horton and Pote Group, they open up their new construction, new homes to the influx of buyers coming to these boom towns. And I know we go through a little bit of a correction. It's a short-term correction. Okay, get over it. I want you to think long-term, 10 or more years into the future. That should be your mindset. All right, so okay, that's pretty much I have to say on that. So with that in mind, let me share some bonus presentation for you. Now, if you, of course, whether you're a homeowner or primary, or if you want to move to these locations to live for the rest of your life, whatever, in Florida or Texas or any of the South and Southeast areas, the homes are affordable. Florida and Texas have no state income tax. It's Sun Belt, it's warm weather most of the time. I know it's not perfect. In the summer, it gets to be very, very humid. I get it. But nevertheless, you still have home affordability, you still have good business climate, you still have the lifestyle, the warm weather, the sun belt, the whole 9 yards, job growth, population growth. So whether you're buying a home or you're buying a rental property, I'm just going to focus on rental property because that's what I do. I help out-of-state investors to buy into these markets for many, many years. And this example I'm showing you very briefly is a sample of what those mom and pop out-of-state investors can do if they were to take advantage of the current amazing real estate opportunities, even though we are experiencing a very, very housing correction, if you will. Still, it's never wrong time to buy an income property. So I'll be very, very brief. Okay, I showed this kind of a analysis before on my other videos, but big picture is you should buy a single family home, new constructions in the good areas of Florida and Texas, kind of simple, similar cookie cutter, 3 bedroom, 2 bath, 1,700 square foot, new builds in a good rental market. And, the price could be, just do the math, do the calculation. If this price right here happens to be in Southwest Florida, Cape Coral, where we have a team on the ground to help investors to buy turnkey properties with the whole property management, the whole turnkey scenario. This new construction, $349K, it rents for $2,600, and that's all you need to know. All you need to know is if you can get a almost 1% rent to value ratio or close to it, or 0.07 to 1%. So that means 1% multiplied by the purchase price, or 0.7% multiplied by the purchase price, you'll get a gross monthly rent of around ideally $2,600, and you put 25% down payment, you will achieve a cash flow of a couple of $100. That is a benchmark to buy a cash flow turnkey income producing property in this great, fast growing Florida location where the prices are still very affordable, where job and population growth, very strong rental market, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And then another property that you could buy in, this kind of property is a representation. You can make the argument outside Austin, or you're somewhere in the south of Austin in the fast-growing suburban area, the path of growth, if you will. Even though I'm second property, I'm showing another suburb in Southwest Florida, which is LaBelle, Florida, which is very, very good cash flow numbers. You could make the argument you can buy a similar home in San Antonio, in Central Texas, or in the suburbs 30 miles north of south of Austin, where you buy cheaper homes that can cash flow. So typical cookie cutter new construction, you can buy for $269,000, for example, as this real example that shows. You pay down the rate. Builders are giving you a lot of concession. They give you extra money to pay down the closing costs or buy down your rate. So instead of paying 6.5% or your 30-year fixed rate mortgage, you buy down the rate to 5.75%, 30-year fixed rate mortgage. So all the numbers work. You rent this property out for $2,300 monthly gross rent. The price is only $269. And then, of course, you put 25% down payment. You factor in all the monthly debt service and your mortgage payment. Then $2,300 minus the debt service of mortgage payment and taxes, insurance, and property management fee, whatever, and you still have positive net cash flow month to month of approximately almost $500. I mean, this is insane nice. Okay, I'm not gonna spend 1 more hour covering this cash flow analysis. I just want to show you the big picture about the future of buying in the right location, surround yourself with the right team, knowing which areas are growing. You buy for the future. You don't worry about, I know a lot of people worry about all kind of negative headlines, negative information here and there, but you can still pull the trigger in these challenging times. You have to know what to look for, what team to surround yourself with, and again, when there's a crisis, there are opportunities, and I'm showing you some real great opportunities to invest in real estate, regardless of the economic conditions. Right. So that's all I have to say. If you see value in this presentation, please smash the like button and also subscribe to my YouTube channel. And finally, subscribe to my email newsletters on my website below so you can become a free member of our real estate investing community, so you can get more free real estate education of how to become an investor, where to buy turnkey properties, and surround yourself with a good turnkey provider. That networking, everything else, we have those resources for you for free. Thank you so much for watching. This is Si Wing Yi, and I will see you in the next video very shortly. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.